welcome into episode 6 of Mike Chuck. We have a loaded show for you this time around. In episode 6, we're going to talk with Bennington wrestler Kael Lauridsen. We're going to talk to Caleb Franklin from Anselmo-Merna, cover some Class D, talk about that. And then we're going to kind of recap the Metro and preview something pretty fun that Chuck and I have talked about. The match is going down. So we have Omaha Central coach Matt Storm, who's going to join us a little bit later. So let's just get right to it with Kael Lauridsen, our special first guest of this show. Kael, thanks for joining us, man. Appreciate it.
No problem. Thank you for having me.
Well, we talked to you, I think, last year at some point, right?
Yeah.
So how's your year been? Wait, we talked to you in June at Fargo too.
Yeah. After the Greco National Championship.
How's that ear doing?
You know, she's healing up now. So
looks like she's cut open again there too at the bottom.
No, it's just a little hole in my I don't even know. It's got like a little hole in there. It's weird.
Oh boy.
But yeah, no scabs anymore. No not looking like it's gonna fall off anymore. So
Mike's ears look like that too, I think.
Okay, big guy. Kael, this season so far has gone for you what?
I'd say pretty good. Wish I would have finished a little bit higher at Ironman. Had a good match against that Jordan Rainey kid. But other than that, wish I could have at least got the major on miles. But other than that, I think it's going pretty good. So,
who wins in the tussles in the house between you and your brother right now? He's got a little bit of size on you.
Yeah, we haven't actually had a fight in a while, but I can say I won the last one.
Oh, I was going to ask you about how's the little brother bigger? Like, how'd that happen?
I don't know. I don't know. I think like when we were little, I might have cut a little bit more weight. But
stunted your growth a little.
Yeah, maybe.
He also played football too.
Yeah.
Maybe matters a little bit. I don't know. Hey, let's talk Bennington real quick. You guys have a really good team. You are one of the favorites, I would say, easily in Class B. What makes you guys so tough? First of all, I mean, you go Coyle and then you. I mean, there's more than just you and your brother there. Right. So what makes you guys so tough, in your opinion?
I think like our team is kind of like a brotherhood, and we always like if we can't have practice at a school or something, like we'll have some of the guys go over in the basement and work out or stuff like that. So we always like to get in extra workouts, but really like we compete in the practice room too, and I think some of our guys could push themselves a little harder, but for the most part, yeah, like it's competition in the wrestling room, and nobody's happy when they're getting taken down and stuff like that. So
I mean, I think people don't have a choice but to just get better wrestling the guys in your room. I think Connor Ratonia is kind of the example of that, right? I mean, he hasn't been wrestling very long, and you guys kind of turned him into something special.
Right. Yeah. And we try to do that like a few times. Like I think it was last week or maybe 2 weeks ago. We were switching up with partners and going with the younger guys and just getting them a feel for like what drilling really looks like and how to keep that high pace when you're drilling and things like that. So yeah, it's definitely a great thing.
Yeah, think before you speak here, but we've had the conversation, but is Scott back?
Yeah, I would say they're back, but I think if we clean some things up, we'll give them. It'll be a tight run, and it'll be good. It'll be fun. So,
where do you feel like you match up with some of the greats that have come through Bennington?
I mean, I don't know. It's hard to say right now. Anyways, we'll see how some of things. If I accomplish some of my goals down the road, I think I rank up pretty high there. But I think Brett Allgood, Andy Picorni, Brett Velasquez, I think they're all phenomenal wrestlers, and I think they all deserve the respect and have earned their respect. So.
You brought it up a little bit here, accomplishing goals. Obviously, the 4-timer is a thing. How much pressure do you put on yourself? Do you even pay attention to that, or do you just wait? Like, hey, when the state tournament comes, I'll focus on that then.
Yeah, I just kind of take it one match at a time. I'm just going out there having fun, trying to compete. Put up as many points as possible on some guys, get pins. So I'm not too focused on that, but I'm more just focused on how I'm wrestling and getting better.
What are some of your goals that you have from going into the end of this year and into your college career?
Yeah, some goals. Obviously a goal I have is to get that 4-time state championship or get that 4th one. Maybe make a junior world team. I think that would be pretty awesome, or a U20 world team. And in college, U23 senior world teams and world championships. Not just making the team, but getting a medal, preferably the gold medal. NCAA champion. All those are goals that I have.
Is last, I guess, one here, and I'm going to go back to the 4-timer thing because obviously that's a goal, and you'll get talked about a ton more in the next, couple weeks here coming down to the stretch of the season, particularly at the state tournament, because you're the only one that will be going for it. I'm just going to assume that you're going to make it to the state tournament. There'll come added pressure with that, because you'll probably close the show, right? And like they'll set that up on purpose for you to have that opportunity. And there'll be articles and all this stuff. You'll be the one talked about the whole time leading up to that week of. How do you kind of block all that out from people like, me and Chuck talking about it?
I just kind of do my own thing and just prepare. I don't really get too caught up in social media and rankings and things like that. I'm really just going out there to compete, have fun, and that's really all I'm out here doing.
Perfect. Go ahead. Last one, Chuck.
How do you and Joel kind of feed off of each other? I know that you guys are pretty close. There's probably some pretty good scraps in the room and maybe a little bit of tempers, but how do you guys feed off each other?
At the Best Wrestler, it's great. I feel like we hold each other accountable, get into the morning workouts, and things like that. But the energy is great. I think if you ever talk to Joel, obviously he has like a lot of energy and good vibes. I feel like so that helps, and it makes practice more fun. And obviously, going against the top. Is he top 5 in the country right now? I don't know.
I think he's
top
number
10.
2 right now.
Number 2, yes, top 5 kid in the country. Obviously that's going to get you better, not only wrestling, but he's a good person too. So, we feed off of each other and it helps. So,
all right, man. Thank you. Appreciate it. We will we'll for sure, I'm sure, talk to you and see you down the road.
All right. Well, thank you guys. I appreciate you guys having me on here.
Yeah, thanks.
It's great talking to you again, man.
All right. Talk about a great kid, man. Jeez.
These kids just seem like they're getting more and more charismatic and better spoken, the more time gets moved on.
Pretty level-headed guy and pretty focused. So, I brought up the ear thing. I don't know if people saw that, but his ear in Fargo was like –
It blew up.
Yeah, it was like gushing blood. It was one of the nastiest things I've seen in a long time. All right, you ready to move on and talk some Class D, Chuck?
Let's do it.
All right, let's bring in our next special guest, if you will. Caleb Franklin from Anselmo-Merna. You got way more snow than we did on this side of the state, I'm sure.
Holy cow. We're looking at – I just stepped outside. So I just came back I went and worked out, and I I took one big step out and waist is covered in snow for
wow.
like, I bet 100 feet in front of my house.
Oh, wow.
So it's, I'm going to be stuck in my house for at least another day.
Yeah.
So.
Well, we're covered nice, so.
Yes.
Yeah. I guess I'd maybe rather have ice than snow, that much snow. I mean, that's like, you got like 20 inches of snow in parts around.
Yeah, that's not for me.
Yeah, no. I know Broken Bow is supposed to get like 20. And that's
I was talking to a couple of my students or my athletes that are over there right now, and it's one person you open the door and the whole entire door is covered with just snow. There's like a little crevice right where you peek over where it's not covered in snow. It's quite, I don't know if I've ever seen this much snow in my time.
Well, at least your kids will get a nice workout in.
Yes, scooping snow all day. That'll be good since we can't have practice tomorrow. So
let's get to the wrestling part. Obviously, I guess one question I have for you is when you get to a duel and maybe if you start at the lower weights and that, how nice is it to have sort of a hammer at the end and Sid Miller at 92?
I mean, it's awesome. We definitely lean on that guy a lot. He's been a pretty good leader for us. And he's really helped out even our 220-pounder Tate Thornton this year, who's really kind of come around the last couple of years. So just him and Tate kind of wrestling with each other definitely has made him better, getting beat up in the practice room. So I know we took that one loss against a really tough kid from Twin Loop when Slate McKeel. He's up at 220, but other than that, I've been really impressed with how he's wrestling this year. He's wrestling just with all the confidence in the world. So it's been awesome to see that.
How do you as a coach manage your time between, all the track stuff that you do as far as coaching and kind of going all over with that, and then, coaching a tough wrestling team too, because there's a lot of time that would have to go into both.
Yeah. I mean, it definitely, I try to keep my track stuff really, really small because I know how much time it takes to build a wrestling team. And usually during this winter time, I really only try and see those guys as from the track aspect 1 day a week. And I try to keep it on Sundays, but and then other than that, I'm full bore wrestling from November all the way up until even March and April, when it's the middle of track season. So it's definitely tough. It's definitely one I'm still trying to juggle right now. But I think I'm starting to get a little bit of the hang of it. I got kids right now that even on the track side, that are, they're dedicated enough that I can send them stuff and say, hey, go and do this 2 or 3 days a week. And I know they'll go and do it. And then I can meet with them on Sundays and we can kind of pick and choose what we want to work on while I'm giving everything to not only my high school program, but, I got the youth program going on too, that I go and help out with. So I'm definitely busy just like every other coach. I'm sure everybody's dealing with the same, issues that I'm not really much issues, but their schedule's all the same like me. So I'm definitely running around a lot. And even with, my wife's pregnant right now with our first child, and we're due March 1st, so it's going to get even busier. So, yes, the timing on that was impeccable.
Yeah.
So,
well, congratulations, Coach. Congratulations. Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah, thank you.
Nothing better than having your first kid. I will say that it is an experience for someone who is a dad. I have 2 daughters, and it is it's pretty fantastic feeling. Especially like today, they were like, "Let's go outside." Like they were shoveling snow, making a mess is what I call it. But they were having fun. And it was great. And then I started throwing snowballs at their head, so that's fun. You guys are in the same district as Southern Valley. in the District 2. How good of a team is that? It feels like those are the top two in that district. I may be wrong, missing somebody, but you know, how important is having, clearly you need to have a good showing at districts to give you momentum to state. And you guys are clearly always, I think, one of the better teams in Class D. You've built a nice program there, but let's just focus on that district race.
Yeah. So, you got Southern Valley's in there. Twin Loop's in there too. They're going to be tough. They got a tough dual team. Let's see who else that I saw that was in there. High Plains is in there too. They're going to be real tough. Burwell will be there. And we got to see Southern Valley for the first time at the Amherst invites a couple weeks ago, and they're definitely pretty solid. I think at a tournament like that where we finished ahead of them, it might be a little bit different when it comes to districts where, you know, their hammers are going to probably meet our hammers, and we might see a little bit different team race as we get in there. But, you know, besides Southern Valley, we're gonna see some hammers in High Plains. They got a good, you know, they got that good 60-pounder, 106-pounder is pretty good. Twin Loop's got a great team, like I said. So, honestly, I think the D2 district probably besides maybe that D1 and that D and maybe I don't really know what teams are in D3. I would like to think this D2 district's going to be pretty fun to watch.
Yeah, three is like Elkhorn Valley, Plainview, Thayer Central, Pleasanton. One is Aquinas is in there.
Oh, right.
And Howells Dodge and Wisner. Yeah.
Coach, how do you feel about your season so far, and where did you see yourself at the beginning of the season? I mean, I know you guys have walked away with a handful of tournament titles so far already, so you've had a pretty good season.
No, I've been pretty pleased. Honestly, this was kind of the year that I kind of circled when I first took the job at Anselmo-Merna. It'd be 3 years ago now. And I knew that this freshman class was going to bring in some good hammers. And I thought we could be very, very competitive as long as we could get the right coaching staff in with my assistants and get them some good off-season training in. And, they've definitely, I would say, exceeded my expectations. We're looking at obviously qualifying for the state duels for the first time ever. And I don't know if that's something we may not ever see again. You never know, right? But it's something that's really excited the team, and just putting all our chips into that team aspect of it this year has really kind of brought those young guys along and allowed them to wrestle tough. And you even got our older guys, like we talked a lot about Sid Miller. We also got Tice Porter, Jaden Wells, Caden Kofel, Tate Thornton, who are juniors right now, who have done a lot of wrestling, and they've helped those young guys, those freshmen in, and even Tristan Olson, who's a senior this year too, who's doing really well for me. They've really taken time in the practice room to, put aside their goals to try and help those younger guys out a little bit. And you could just tell, I coached at Millard South in 2017, and for a while, and then I coached at Millard North, and you can just tell, there's an aura that really kind of goes around a team when you're in a practice room. You can feel the intensity. You can feel how into it the kids are, And so when I walk into the room this year, I could definitely feel that same thing. And it's kind of bled into the matches that they're wrestling. Do we still have a lot to work on? Yeah, for sure. But as the season has gone on, we've definitely set new goals for ourselves. But everything that we get from here on out, I think is just going to be icing on the cake. So I've been pretty pleased with how everybody's wrestling, and I'm excited to see how these next couple weeks go. So
perfect. Yeah. Just no early baby stuff, or else you're gonna.
Yes. Yes. It's funny. The last couple of days we've been talking, and her sister and her mom were 2.5 weeks early.
Oh, that's right.
Boy.
Yeah. And it's just enough to keel haul me over. But we're just going to pray that
Yeah.
we are on time and that I don't get a phone call while I'm sitting in a chair in Omaha.
Yeah, that would be. You
So-
definitely would have to hustle back, drive separate or something. Just
Yeah.
something. Come with a game plan for sure.
Exactly.
All right, Coach. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. We'll see you in a couple weeks in Omaha.
Heck yeah. Thanks for having me on, guys.
Yeah. All right. Well, that was fun. So they got a lot of snow out there, like we talked about. All right, Chuck.
Here's what I'm excited. This scumbag Mike Sauter.
My wrestling style is to not let Chuck's short, little, grubby hands take me down.
He thinks that he's leaving in a Ford Fusion, but he's really going to be leaving on Mulligan Airlines.
He can't take me down.
He's got another thing coming. He's getting hit with that downtown funk.
I don't need confidence. I'll beat my opponent.
Mike Sauter thinks that he can come into the Oos Kingdom and not let me take him down.
He's too little. He's not long enough. He's not tall enough.
I don't know if it's going to be a headlock, an ankle pick.
He's going to have to live this down for the rest of his life.
Make sure that you guys come out on the 25th at Central High School to witness Mike Sauter go down.
If you look at him and you look at me, a lot prettier than him. It's time.
It's time, brother.
Time. All right. Here's Coach Matt Storm from Omaha Central. And the Mike Chuck Showdown is going to happen.
Look at this guy.
We're going to definitely have it. We're having the showdown. Chuck can't take me down. Here's the rules. They're very simple. Chuck gets 1 period to attempt to take me down. He will not. And this is going down on January 25th, the very last Omaha Central home duel of the 2023 season.
And I don't want to jinx it, but this could be a pretty special duel for Central.
Why is that?
Yeah.
It could put them into the state duels for the first time ever.
Oh. You want to talk about that? Hey, by the way, I did my backlight purple tonight just for you, Coach Storm. Not for.
Oh, there you go. I appreciate that.
Not for
This guy's a poser. He's a poser. Storm, you're gonna sit in my corner, right, Storm?
Yeah, you know what? This is a big deal. This is going to be huge. I've witnessed trash talking and smack talking on both ends, both with you guys in the same room with me and then separately. So I'm all ears, I'm all eyes, I'm all corner. This is big. I think this is probably going to be the biggest wrestling event since the Ultimate Warrior versus Hulk Hogan at WrestleMania 6, Toronto, Canada, sold out arena.
That's
Big
what
deal.
I'm saying.
It's a very big deal.
We're talking Macho Man and Ricky Steamboat level wrestling here.
WrestleMania 2 or 3?
2, I believe.
I have no idea.
Okay, yeah.
I know I'm gonna fly.
This is a big deal. It's gonna be a good time, like you said. Our last duel. It's our senior night. We're looking to send our seniors out on a good note. You know, we're looking to just put our best effort forward and have our best performance be our next performance, and that's kind of been our motto all year. You know, we're going to end the show with a bang, and we may or may not have a special guest referee lined up already. So this is going to be a pretty cool thing. It's a pretty big deal, and I just want to see some competition, some competitiveness. I want to see some 2 middle-aged men just getting after it.
If I throw up on the mat, is there somebody to clean it up?
We will have someone there to clean that up.
Yeah, if I throw up on the mat, I don't know what happened.
I vote Coach Gates.
I will not.
Okay.
I do know one thing. So one reason why we talked about this, it brought it up, and this just how all this. A lot of people don't know this, but this backstory of me actually wrestling Chuck was we were in Fargo, and I don't even know how it was brought up, Chuck. But at some point, someone said something about maybe it was you or me. maybe it was Bob said something about taking each other down or something. And
Mike got all drunk on one bite tacos.
Was that what it? No, we were sitting in the stands. I remember.
You got all hyped up, and your blood got flowing, and your blood sugar dropped a little bit, and you talked all crazy.
And then it turned into what is happening on Wednesday the 25th. And I might add that Chuck, Coach Storm, and I, this is a little bit of a surprise for you, but we talked a little bit earlier today. And we are going to make this the best we can-ish as a fundraiser for the Dirty Eagles.
Oh, perfect. That's awesome. We appreciate that. Chuck runs the Dirty Eagles for us. It's a great program. It's a great opportunity for kids to get in the sport of wrestling, and I wouldn't have anybody better than Chuck to run that program for us, and he's doing a great job. I know he enjoys it, and it's a little bit of a curveball and a change of speed going from the high school level down to the youth level, but Chuck handles it well, and he's doing a great job.
Yeah. So Chuck, that's a little surprise for you that you didn't know about. We're gonna see if we can raise a little bit of money for your program.
Well, if nothing else, I know that I'll at least be $100 towards the Dirty Eagles program after I take you down.
Not happening at all. What does that say? Again, Mike sucks 2023. Is that what that says? Okay.
Yeah.
Dirty Eagles rule.
Yeah. So let's get to the wrestling part here a little bit. And one kind of thing I want to follow up with, Coach, is DJ Bonham. How's he doing? Because I was very much so looking forward to the Haynes and Bonham matchup at Metro in the finals, right. And he got it was a fluke thing, right? Like, I mean, he just kicked out and got hit in the head, and I saw the trainer said, no, he has a concussion, he can't go, and it was like, right, that sucks. So how's he doing?
He's doing a lot better. It only took about 24 hours, and he started feeling a lot better. And it was a little scary moment. I think it's one of those situations where if that's never happened to you before, or you've never been in a situation where, you get kicked in your eye and then, the pain starts to throb in your head. If that's never happened to you before, it's, I think he handled it like any kid would. And it's a situation that I don't wish that on anybody. And, I think we're going to fight through it. And Enrique's a good wrestler, and we're looking forward to trying to put our best effort forward to get to another opportunity to wrestle him.
Yeah, the good thing about that too is that, we're very familiar with the Haynes family and Enrique, right. And things like that aren't intentional. They just happen.
Yeah.
Right.
Just happen as part of wrestling.
Enrique was the first person there to, he came up to me multiple times and said sorry. And I said, there's nothing to be sorry about. You can't be sorry about that. It's like you just said, nothing intentional, and things happen. It's a combat sport, and it's a tough sport, and wrestling's hard, and things like that can happen. And we're just going to do everything we can to throw it away and move on and try to make sure we turn it into a positive.
Yeah, I mean, it was about as fluke, I think, of a deal as we'll see, which kind of stunk because I was sitting there ready with my camera to get some fire stuff happening. So
there's going to be some explosive moves in that match happening.
Yeah.
Yeah. If it happens, don't count on it yet. Chuck.
I'm just saying.
I'm not. You count out Columbus guy. I mean, come on.
I'm sorry.
I'm just saying.
That's funny. Sorry.
Yeah. No, so first year coach, like head coach, correct. Right? What's the move from the one chair to the other chair? What's that been like for you?
The transition's been easier than I thought it would, because I thought that Coach Foster had worked with me for a while and preparing me for whatever was coming next in my career, whether it were to be at Central or somewhere else. That was one of the things that I think he takes some pride in, the fact that he's always done a good job of getting his assistants ready for whatever step comes next in their career. And he always did that for me. So having him there and being next to him and being next to Chuck for, 10 years, that definitely helped. So it's been an easy process. I'm pretty blessed with a great group of kids. We just have a great team, good kids that want to be in practice, kids that want to put their best effort forth in practice and do everything they can to keep getting better at wrestling and keep being a good person. So far it's been no complaints on my end. It's been fun. It's been exciting. There's hills and valleys, ups and downs. So as long as you're putting your best effort forth and you're keeping everything positive, I think it's been pretty good so far.
You had 3 finalists at Metros. Was that did you feel like that was what you were looking towards? Was that one of your goals, or how do you feel you performed at Metros this past weekend?
The tournament was a tough 2-day tournament. It was a lot of wrestling, a lot more wrestling for some kids than you'd normally go through. So the experience was great. Getting 3 in the finals, like you said, that was huge for us. That was huge for our team. Those were 3 kids that, if you look back and I look at their brackets and I go through and I would say, those are 3 kids that I think they've done the things they need to do to solidify their spot in the finals in the Metro tournament. So surprised, I don't know would be the answer, but grateful that they went out and competed and did their best. They just did everything they could to get where they needed to get, and they worked pretty hard to get there. So they're, I can't say enough about how their effort, their willingness to go into deep waters and try to keep getting better in situational stuff and positional wrestling. So they did a really good job, and I was proud of those guys.
Yeah, Kevin, Boston just ran into, what are you going to do about that? Right.
Yeah, he's a extremely good wrestler.
Yeah, Boston and Kemp, not much you going to do about it.
Yeah, they're just it was a good measuring stick for us. We always like to use the Metro Conference tournament to kind of see where we're at and see how we compete. The old saying of if you can, be a top competitor in your weight at the Metro Conference, then you could have a good chance of being a top competitor in the state bracket. So as long as you're making your next performance your best performance, that's all our goal is, and we're just going to keep plugging away. So we're going to use those experiences as measuring sticks, and we're going to try and get better from those situations and keep going forward.
You know what they say, though, to be the man, you got to beat the man.
That's right. A great man once said that. His name was Ric Flair.
Last thing here, and by the way, my next performance is on Wednesday, if you haven't figured that out, and it will be my best performance. I'm just saying. So
the smoke.
But I will say this, people. This dude. All right. I will say this. Chuck and I would not have the Mike Chuck Show, previously the NEBpreps Wrestling Show, if it wasn't for Matt Storm. And people don't know that. People don't know that, but respect to you because I came up with this idea. I remember I was at football practice in August of 21 now.
I think so.
And I was like, hey, I got this idea. I want to do like this wrestling show thing, and I need a co-host with me, and someone that's not a head coach, but whatever, and has a little time and would be good personality. And you recommended Chuck, and now we're wrestling each other. So
yeah. When it comes to just being in the know and knowing the sport of wrestling and knowing it at all levels, Chuck knows A through D. He's on that middle school scene. He's on the youth scene. There's nobody else I would have chosen for you to reach out to. It was a situation. I'm like, well, I think I got the guy for you, and it's worked out. I think you guys have a great following. I know you have a great following. I enjoy the show. I enjoy what you guys do, and it's been fun. And I hope it can continue to grow and keep getting bigger and better. And we're looking forward to the downtown throwdown, 25th.
Chuck is the man. He just knows everybody. He's been great. But no, like in all sincerity, though, it's been a lot of fun. And
it's been a ton of fun.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. I mean, we took a trip to Fargo in the car with Bob sleeping in the back. It was like,
and he was mouth open.
Yeah, just like
drop him off at a truck stop in Sioux City. Let him go.
Yeah. So if it wasn't for you, we would have not done that. Taking that
Well, I
trip.
appreciate that.
So yeah, it was a great time. Chuck's a great human being. He's so great. He's so awesome.
He's just trying not to get thrown on his head at this point.
He's the man. Chuck's the man. But
the funny part is, I don't know if people realize the kicker of this competition is Mike's not trying to take you down. He's just trying to not get taken down. So
yeah, but he can't stall. He can't stall.
It's going to be important that I bring it up to our special guest referee beforehand and let him know, we're in a no stall zone. None of that. We're getting after it. It's pure competition. It's sprawls, hand sprawls, down blocks. Let's see where we're at.
There's one fan that'll be in the crowd that will have no problem yelling that he's stalling.
Oh, easy. I already know. Shannon Foster. She will let you know immediately if there's a stall call that needs to be called.
She's been calling
or if
it
the
for
score needs to be corrected.
plus years.
I do know this. There literally is only one rule, and it's Chuck has to take me down somehow, some way. That doesn't mean I can't just run around the circle for in a lap.
Does too. Can't stall.
I can stall if I want. That wasn't the rule.
You can't run.
I can do whatever I want.
Bro, I am not chasing you.
Hammer.
Oh, man.
This body wasn't built by running, I'll tell you that much.
See, right and left. You know what they call wrestlers that are really good? Hammers. Hammers.
You're a loser.
All right, well, that'll do it for the Mike Chuck Show, episode 6. We will see you on Wednesday, the 25th of January at Omaha Central, roughly 7:30, 7:45.
Right. The wrestling starts at 6, and you guys will take stage right after that. So if you guys want to see some good hard wrestling, it's going to be a good fight. Central versus Dretton, it's always a good duel. They're always a great team. They're coached well. They come to fight, and so it's going to be a good time, good wrestling.
Bring a little
Dirty Eagles, front row center.
Bring a little extra cash. Throw it in the bucket for the Dirty Eagles or however we're going to do that. We'll figure some way out to do that. So, yeah, super fun. I'm excited. I'm going to probably not eat as much fast food. Well, that's probably not going to happen. So, yeah, it's fine. We'll just
I went grocery shopping yesterday. I'm on a clean diet for a week.
Shit. Okay. All right. Episode 6.
A Hurrdat Sports Network production.